Tonight, from Brisbane's ANZ Stadium, the Broncos at home shape up to the Knights. Saturday night football, right here on the one and only Wide World of Sports.
Hello and thanks for joining us live here at the ANZ Stadium for what should be a wonderful clash between the Knights and the Broncos, two teams with definite premiership claims this year. In fact, after 4 rounds, the Broncos remain the only undefeated side. They have had one draw. While Newcastle dropped one game, they too involved in a drawn match. That was last weekend against the Auckland Warriors. And Phil Gould, going back to last weekend, both these sides showed their ability to dig deep. Somehow Brisbane conjured up a victory over the Sharks. Newcastle left it even later to get a point against Auckland. How do you see the matchup?
Yeah, I think tonight will tell a lot about both sides. Newcastle, when they're good, they're very, very good. The Broncos, I'm not completely sold on yet. I know they're undefeated. I know they've played all their games away from home, but no one's really come after them yet, and I think Newcastle could do that tonight. Well, the Knights haven't won here at the ANZ Stadium. Let's have a look at the team that can hopefully register their first victory. Yeah, it's a strong side too, even though they've got a few out. At fullback, Robbie O'Davis, Albert and McDougall on the wings, Gidley and Hughes in the centres. Johns and Johns, a lot will rely on them tonight. Peden, Fairley and Shields in the back row. Parsons, Badiris and Butterfield on the interchange bench. Simpson, Tahu, Fletcher and O'Brien. No replacements from now on, and coached by Warren Ryan. The Brisbane Broncos, a strong side in good form. Lockyer, Takiri, Aiken, Devere, Saylor. No Kevin Walters, Walker and Walker the halves, Campion, Thorne and Tallis, Seven-Asiva, Prittis and Webke. On the interchange bench, Hancock, Carlaw, Carroll and Berrigan, and coached by Wayne Bennett. Yeah, they are two wonderful lineups. And with sideline duties once again this afternoon is Andrew Voss. And Vossi, a feature of these kind of games are the individual clashes. These go right across the park.
Oh, definitely, Peter. Tremendous matchups tonight, right from the fullbacks, Robbie O'Davis, Darren Lockyer, two Queensland Origin representatives, through to two very good packs of forwards. And the battle of the halves critical tonight. And the unique situation, you've got the two sets of brothers, Matthew and Andrew Johns, against Ben and Shane Walker. And for those of you at home, Ben and Shane Walker, they'll handle the job tonight. They were the starting halves last year when these two sides clashed at ANZ Stadium. And on that night, Brisbane emerged winners 38 points to 6. To get the inside story from the Broncos camp, we're joined by Steve Walters, who's now on the coaching staff of the Broncos. It must be a good time to be a part of the Broncos camp.
Yeah, we've had a good start to the year, 3 wins and a draw, but I think tonight will be a good test, the hardest one we've had so far.
Now, what about your brother, Kevin? He just can't take a trick this year.
Yeah, he's getting a little bit old. I think he's had a few minor injuries, as you say, and it was disappointing for him, but he'll just have to get it fixed up and get back in a couple of weeks. Steve,
the Johns boys, you got a chance to play with them at Newcastle last year, and you've played against them. What's the best way of getting at them, getting them off their game?
Well, it's not easy to do. There's been plenty that have tried. They're obviously very talented players, but all you can do is really focus on your defence and make no mistakes for the full 80 minutes.
All right, Steve, thanks for joining us tonight. Peter Sterling, I am going to tip a Newcastle victory, but I'm sure, as all tipsters are finding out, you wouldn't want to be tipping for your life right at the moment on football matches.
No, I tipped the Dragons last night. I don't think I deserve one tonight, but we'll give one to Phil Gould. Who do you like?
I'm going to tip Newcastle Knights. I just think the Broncos, I saw them play a couple of weeks ago without Kevin Walters. They lacked a little bit of direction and try-scoring ability. It's a lot of points in the Knights. That might be the difference.
Yeah, I think the forward packs actually even each other out. I think the back line of the Newcastle Knights do have the superior strike power. They can score the points. Whatever happens, it's going to be one of the games of the season. We'll take a break now and be back with the kick-off. The Broncos up against the Knights.
And welcome back now, again live to ANZ Stadium, Saturday Night Rugby League, live and exclusive across Australia and in fact to overseas telecasters from the 9 network here in Australia. We are at ANZ Stadium for the first time in 2000. The Newcastle Knights, surprisingly quite a few of their supporters able to make the trip here to Brisbane. It's a fairly long ride, let me tell you. Kevin Walters out of this side tonight. In fact, he and Philip Lee are the unavailable Broncos as the Knights take the field, hoping for more good fortune than they had the last time they came here in round 22 last year. They went down 38 to 6 to the Brisbane Broncos. Still very strong, aren't they? They've lost Grief, Kennedy and Rudder from their forward line. There's Big Parsons, who joined them from South Sydney, wearing jumper number 14. He's in the run-on side. And Robbie O'Davis off to the back there one of the best fullbacks in the world, and he came back as a replacement in last weekend's game for Newcastle. Bill Peden. They're calling him the Bunny Riley of the Knights. The axe, he got the job done with a minimum of fuss. And now the Broncos back from their road trip. 4 weekends away, and haven't they been just so good? Beating Cronulla at home, beating Parramatta at home. And as Peter pointed out, unbeaten. Ben Ikin plays his 100th first-grade game tonight. Youngest State of Origin player ever. 18 years and 83 days, I think he was. So both teams on the park. Andrew, what's it like weather-wise?
Conditions, Ray, 26 degrees, the breeze and assistance to the Broncos in the first half. We made the point last week, Ray, one area of concern for Brisbane recently has been finishing on the wrong end of the penalty count. They've lost the penalties at a ratio of 3-1 over the last 3 weeks. Brisbane won't want to have anything less than 50% of the ball tonight if they're to beat Newcastle.
Luke Priddis, number 9 for the Broncos. Tim Mander, based in Brisbane, as the referee. He's had a very good start to the year too, Tim. So Newcastle from right to left. It's been billed as one of the games of the year. Round 5 clash. Paul Vorton joining us in the commentary box. Phil Gould will join Peter Sterling at half-time and full-time as Webke is put away on his own 20-metre line. Now for Sivanasiva. The Broncos with no Kevin Walters. The Walker brothers will take them around the park. Brad Thorne. Priddis then going back for the kick. And Lockyer is there. He has to scoot around the number 9 who came through for charge down. And eventually Peden made the tackle. But Danny Badeiras put a lot of pressure on Lockyer. They were going for the kick on an early tackle, and so they had one up their sleeve. And that's the one that's been returned by Robbo Davis. Mark Hughes, centre partner for Matthew Gidney. Badeiras then away onto the right of the ground for David Fairley, who came up with some excellent figures, according to Warren Ryan, figures that he has not seen too many the like of as a coach. Talking of David's performance, I think it was a fortnight ago. Peter Shields. Now for Andrew, and now for Mark Hughes. He puts a little drop punt down onto the 10-metre line where it finds the touch line, and a scrum will go down. About 12 away. Mark Hughes, the kicker.
And unusual to see Andrew Johns push the ball onto Mark Hughes. It didn't appear as though they'd opened anything up on the short side. Mark Hughes realised that nothing was unfolding, and he had to get a kick away on the last tackle. See, Wendell Saylor didn't drop too far back. He was quite happy to go over the sideline as Tallis takes it from the scrum win.
Broncos have won 7 of their last 8 here at ANZ. It's an undeniable record. Webke now. 20-metre line. Campy and start something down the blind side. And Shane Walker wearing 15. The Walker brothers having their heads shaved on Thursday night to raise money. I think it was for leukemia research. Now Sivanasiva just onto the Newcastle side of halfway. First visit by the Broncos down to the other end of the park. Kick standing up. O'Davis bringing it back. Dummies to McDougall, who's been deputising so well for O'Davis. And now McDougall. Ikin around the legs. Brad Thorne coming in over the top. Second tackle, not late. Andrew Johns. Matthew off the right foot, swerves. Tries to open up the Broncos between Sivanasiva and Priddis. Now Butterfield.
Run away, run away.
Fairley accepting an inside ball from Andrew Johns, and that takes them just into Brisbane's half. as Andrew now puts it high, and a lot of time for the Newcastle chase. Mark Hughes was down there. Lockyer bounced off McDougall, and McDougall will be called out. Was there a hint of an elbow in the what looked like a shoulder charge? Let's go to Tim Mander.
You've hit the tackle higher, you've hit him high. There's not 100% sure of the point of contact. We're going to put that on report. Okay, it was a high shot.
Well, from where we sat, it just looked like a good, strong charge into Lockyer. It's not a big man, Lockyer. And McDougall is a very strong player, and he has lifted the elbow. He's raised his elbow, and he's got him right under the chin, so that is on report.
Sivanasiva again. Busy in the opening exchanges. Webke put down by Badeiros, and that is not a knock-on. Shane Walker. They really are going to be a bit of a commentator's nightmare, the Walker brothers, but nothing's new. The Max from Canberra were very testing as the Broncos get a penalty. And well within kicking range. It's only about 37 metres out, almost in front.
Yes, you would imagine Ben Walker would step up to the plate. He's kicked 11 from 12 this season, a 92% strike rate, so he's hitting the ball beautifully. And another play the ball infringement with the hand of the tackler on the football.
5 minutes gone in the game.
And speaking of stepping up, these three big gun forwards that Brisbane do possess in Brad Thorne, Gordon Tallis and Shea Webke, they've been in great form lately, and they've stepped up again already in the first 5 minutes. Plenty of hit-ups for all those players. It's a big test tonight for the Newcastle pack of forwards against probably the form pack in the competition.
Beautiful day in Brisbane. A little bit of high cloud, about 26 degrees, and a light breeze coming from behind Brisbane in the first half. 6 times they've played Newcastle, either at Lang Park or here. In fact, they've played here twice and Lang Park 4 times. And Newcastle has gone home empty on 6 occasions. Ben Walker, wearing number 7, playing at 5/8. It's on its way. It's coming back, and the flags go up. First points in the game. Brisbane leading Newcastle after 5 minutes, 2-0.
Been quite a cautious start from both teams. No mistakes to date. A bit of one-out stuff. Newcastle a quick restart. And Wendell Saylor takes it just on his own line. Takes it forward 15 metres. I think you'll see Andrew John starting to kick to the other side shortly to Lottie Takiri's wing.
Here's Webke. Very warm welcome to our viewers through the Hunter Valley and Newcastle. Your numbers will be very high tonight. Long, long way for you to come. A few of the brave are here. As Tallis goes up and he's taken to ground. Peden got him. The axe got him. Now Prentice down the blind side, and Campion is put away on 5. Last play for Ben Walker, that is. Good kick. McDougall's under pressure. Loses it, gets it back. And the corner post went through the feet of Saylor, not McDougall. This was the pressure for McDougall. Lost it, got it back. And then Saylor's feet take the corner post. Butterfield now. Away. Oh, he's lost it. One-on-one, simple shoulder, I think it was, from Gordon Tallis. And this will give the Broncos a great attacking position.
Yeah, well, Gordon Tallis just can't run the football and make breaks. He's a pretty good defender as well. On occasion just jolted the ball loose, and a great chance for the Broncos.
Ben Walker tries to step around Matthew Johns. Many have tried and many have failed. They think about the shot. He's lost it, Campion. So the pressure that they were offered has now been taken off them.
And a couple of tremendous tackles from Billy Peden in the last few minutes. He's the man who goes low here. The referee saying that Kevin Campion was actually trying to get the ball into position to pass it. The shot moments ago of Billy Peden
on Tallis.
On Tallis was a ripper.
In the middle there.
Andrew Johns to the open side, and this is Gidley. Can I firstly congratulate, this is a replay of that tackle, Peter, you were talking about. It was an absolute beauty. Parsons. Now Badeiros. Andrew Johns. Cut out pass on the bounce for Matthew. Then back for Robbie O'Davis. Then for Matthew Gidley. Holds De Vere away with one hand and gives it to Albert. Sports Tab are betting 20-1 about the prolific try scorer being the first to cross the line tonight. And if he's not, they'll bet you 20-1 about being the last try scorer. Very generous of them, Sports Tab. Now, Wendell Saylor to the 20-metre line. To and fro we go. To Keary, is it? Yes. In 17, playing on the left wing, keeping Hancock on the interchange bench. Sivanasiva, and then Priddis running from dummy half. Support came from Shane Walker, then from Darren Lockyer, and he's pulled down 29 away. To the left they go. They've got them on the back foot, and beautiful hands by Takiri. I thought it might have travelled forward. It didn't, according to the touch judge. Ben Walker coming back, miles of time to put a kick up, and again pressure for Adam McDougall, and he comes down with it. I'll tell you what though, Mark Hughes will want to be careful. He was riding shotgun for Adam McDougall, and he could have given a penalty.
Yes, a great set of six there from the Brisbane team. A try-saving tackle from Matthew Johns has seen him pull up a little bit dusty, might have got cut. The trainers attended to him as Newcastle now take it 38 out from their own line.
Fairly.
Fair to say Brisbane on top in the opening 10 minutes.
Shields, O'Davis. Busy O'Davis, Paul, really wants to get involved. Down the left of the ground comes Steve Simpson. Big job to be done by him tonight. Given the forwards that are out of the team, Saylor did well. That ball would not have been easy. Simpson on, Parsons is off. I was going to make the point, let me congratulate Newcastle for changing the numbers almost immediately after they introduced this new strip. It was impossible with the white numbers, and they reacted to criticism. I congratulate you. Thank you, I should say, not congratulate you. Ben Walker's pass went across the face of Shane, picked up by De Vere. And Michael plays it now. Nestling into that centre jumper, Michael De Vere, good player. Tallis. Priddis fires it back. Badeiros comes down the ground to try and just hurry Lockyer. O'Davis and McDougall, and he's pulled down by Ben Aiken with a help there from Saylor. 12 minutes gone, 2-0 Brisbane, penalty goal for Ben Walker. 12 from 13, did I hear you say, Peter? Fairly now. Butterfield loves the game. Many would have retired before their birth certificate was as old as his. Mark Hughes.
Well, Andrew Johns has got to get a better kick away than we've seen earlier in this game. He's decided just to find touch inside the 10. But his first 4 in this match haven't been particularly good, and he has set a very high standard, I know.
Andrew, of course, when I say under pressure, he's under the spotlight because the selectors looking at him. And looking, of course, at Brett Camorley for the Australian number 7 shirt, which currently belongs to the Melburnian. The other interesting matchup here tonight are the number 1s for the Queensland shirt.
Well, that's one of the reasons I think Robbie O is highly involved. He He wants his state of origin jumper back.
Takiri easily rounded up by Albert. This is De Vere. O'Brien is on. Clinton. Butterfield is off. Origin player O'Brien. Carroll. Head went back on the shoulders as Shields got him with the shoulder. Shane Walker, inside ball. Tallis loves that. Newcastle were waiting for it. Now
It's gone forward, Ray, the pass to Tallis. And yes, you're dead right. Newcastle have obviously watched the tape of last week's game against the Sharks. That was a cheap ploy.
Pete.
Yeah.
He knocked up making breaks off the inside ball last Saturday. But Warren Ryan has done his homework, I suppose, on the video, and they read him. They were there before he was. Gidley. Almost to the 40-metre line. McDougall is. He's inside that line. And Eichen is shutting down the right side defence for Brisbane. That's O'Brien. Fairley. Did well. Medeiros. No tries. Will Newcastle be the first? Andrew John switching it from the right to the left. They come down the short side. Simpson. 10-metre line. 5 gone. Is the kick coming? Andrew. Yes, there it goes. Albert's getting underneath it with Takiri. And Takiri brings it down beautifully.
Yeah, wonderful take there by Takiri, and the crowd loved that one. He just stood his ground. He timed his run to perfection. And look at Tallis go once again. Geez, he's been great in the first quarter and now. Didn't take his eyes off the footy.
If anything, Darren Albert timed his run badly. He was there half an hour early, and then he gave away the forward position to the Broncos. This kick wobbling across the ground for McDougall. This will be good field position for Newcastle. McDougall on the halfway line, offloading.
Yeah, that was the best set of defence from the Newcastle Knights in this match so far. Lockyer kicked from 15 metres off his own line. And this is the second tackle for Mark Hughes. They're now inside the 40.
2-0 Brisbane in front. Shields gets it back and away for Andrew Johns to float it on for McDougall. On this eastern touchline, the ball lost, and Ben Walker is told to play on. He spears it across the ground for Shane Walker, his brother. Now it's out for Lottie Takiri. Albert hangs on, and Takiri gets a ball around the back for Michael De Vere to the halfway. Ben, now Carroll to the 40-metre line. Both teams guilty of taking the pressure off. Now Eichen, flick pass, and there's the sound of the whistle.
Got another forward pass, and again this one looked line ball. I'm just wondering whether referee Tim Mander is getting some help on those from his touch judge. Darren Lockyer going across field. Maybe that one was aimed forward to Ben Eichen.
Yeah, I agree with him there. I thought that one was a touch forward, angle of the hands. He was just hit as he went to pass it, and that forced it forward.
5 errors in the game. 17 minutes gone. And three mistakes by Brisbane in the handling department. Hancock is now on and Tallis is off. As Newcastle get a penalty. It's against Brisbane. It's Newcastle's first. 2 won the penalties inside the 10 against the Broncos.
And their last couple of sets of 6 have been pretty good, Newcastle. I think they're getting ready to launch an assault. They haven't put too many different plays on. But this could be the set where they do something different.
And Tony Carroll on for the Broncos, playing in the lock forward position as O'Brien takes it to the 20.
Now Parsons. Taking 3 Broncos into the tackle. Now to the right for Andrew, and now Matthew. 8 metres away from the Broncos line. Play back for Peden. The runner is O'Brien. Taken down by Hancock, and now it's out for Andrew Johns, and then Mark Hughes, and now Adam McDougall. Back it goes for Andrew Johns. They're keeping the pot boiling. Matthew Johns, a cutout ball. It's across the back, and to ground goes the Newcastle 19, Troy Fletcher. To the blind side, their last shot on this set, and Takiri puts a hand on it.
Well, that was wonderful stuff from the Newcastle Knights. The width of their play, quite unbelievable. They went from one side to the other. Long passes, putting pressure on the defence. In the end, Gidley got a nice little kick in to keep the pressure on. If you're lazy against Newcastle in defence, they'll hurt you because they'll find you out.
So we're back with the line dropout for the Broncos. They lead 2-0. Almost a quarter of the game gone. Parsons losing it on the first. Hancock now counter-punches to the halfway line.
Well, we've wrapped a few tackles in this game so far. None better than that one from Ben Eichen on Parsons.
Shade. Lockyer. Relishes the freedom that fullback gives him. Webke. Shane Walker again. Inside ball for Brad Thorne. Third tackle gone. 33 away. Centre ground. Ben Walker on the 30-metre line on 4. Carroll up the middle. He's beating the tackle there of Simpson. Now, Prentice. Down it goes for Walker. Then it's been raked in and unloaded by the Broncos. Mendes says play on. Hancock puts a grubber kick in. O'Davis tries to get it back but can't. It all happened so quickly.
Yeah, some great play there from the Broncos. Desperation stuff, wasn't it?
It is 2-0 Brisbane in front. We will break at the 20th minute and be back in a moment. 2-0 Brisbane as we welcome you back live from ANZ Stadium. Berrigan is on in 18. Webke angling across the 20-metre line. Here comes Brisbane. Can Newcastle hold them? Lockyer. Ball goes astray for Shane Walker to clean up. Berrigan again. Now Siva looking to unload. He's becoming more and more proficient at the arcs. Berrigan using a wide short side. And now Webke. The last. What'll he do? Here he is, the playmaker, turning it away for Tallis. Tallis with the arms free. Siva drops it on the right foot. Now will Robbie get it back? Robbie O'Davis does get it back. Well done. This is good football.
He needed to get it back because I don't know whether they could have held out for another set of 6. It would have been 18 in a row. As it is now, they're looking pretty tired, the Knights, after that defence, despite coming wide here through Hughes. McDougall back inside, looking for support, losing ground.
Butterfield taking them up the centre. Matthew Johns looked inside and then gave it outside for Queaton to take the tackle of Tallis. And it was another bone jarrer. And then Tallis puts a charge down on that came off his hands, obviously, and played at the football.
Yeah, it'll be a Newcastle feed. Arthur Gordon charged that one down.
Just the penalty goal for Ben Walker. McDougall 32 metres out from his own line, just a little bit inclined to walk off the mark. Simpson almost to the halfway.
He's made a nice impact since coming on, Steve Simpson. As the pass again finds its way to Adam McDougall's wing. Does well to break through 2 defenders, takes it 35 out.
Now from Badeiras. Andrew Johns for Matthew, the run around to the brother, and then back and away for Mark Hughes. The angle for Gidley. Ball goes to ground, touched by Brisbane. Now they've got possession. Just for a moment, I thought Berrigan had touched it and lost it. He did, but it went backwards. That is De Vere running to the western side. Berrigan. Now to Carey. 32 out from his own line in the centre of the park. Brad Thorne. Shane Walker kicking for Darren. Lockyer has been taken out. Mander indicated that he saw it and said play on. The crowd, they boo Mander. Now O'Davis to the halfway line, and Tallis takes him away with Shane Walker. Here it was. Watch for Darren. There he is. Little shoulder. The number 3 didn't have to move, Gidley. Nothing in it. Mander got it right. 19 is Fletcher. Andrew Johns, and now Matthew, and now Simpson. 26 away on the last tackle, and it's bombs away from Newcastle. This time it looked to come off the hand of Albert. Lockyer's with it. He comes back, and Mander will play the advantage now that Brisbane has got one.
Yeah, great defence from the Brisbane side, because Newcastle are starting to really put their game together. A lot of angle running inside balls, and their kicking game's been strong. Adam McDougall gets some running repairs to an ankle.
Tallis already laying the foundation for another fine game. Tahu is on for the Knights for McDougall, and a penalty goes to Brisbane. 3-1 the penalties to the home side.
Yeah, inside the 10 there, but I've got to say, I've been watching the 10 metres from Tim Mander. It's a very, very big one that he's looking to employ. We'll keep an eye on that for the rest of this half, and see if we can get some evidence of what I'm talking about as Tony Carroll
to the 10-metre line. So Brisbane gets this chance to the blind side, wide as it is. De Vere, Ben Walker, Brad Thorne, back to the centre. Where's Lockyer? He's back on the blind side. Here's Tallis, he's over, under the black dots. The rampaging ball has done it again. Beautiful play.
He's unstoppable, Gordon Tallis, in the frame of mind we've seen him in the last month. Got to say, some really lazy defence. There was quite a big hole there, and Robbie O'Davis was the man who had to come up in the line to try and close it up, and that was a mismatch if ever you've seen one.
Well, it was lazy and extremely soft, very soft, and McGordon's having an outstanding season. This is the best I think he's ever played, Gordon Tallis. Just brilliant stuff, powerful, he's so strong. And I mean, I remember back in the St George days when he played for them, he used to do this all the time, but he's going better now. One would say he's probably matured as a player, physically and mentally.
I'm just wondering where people are starting to rate Gordon Tallis alongside the back rowers that have played the game at the top level. Has he got a problem with his right hand? Ben Walker will convert from right in front. The Broncos are now leading by 8 points to 0. We are coming to you live from ANZ Stadium at the 28th minute. The Broncos by 8 points on the wide world of sports. Andrew Johns back to halfway for the restart. Many of our stations still with us, others in a break, as Webke brings it out. As you come back, a big run by Saylor has inspired Tallis to even greater heights, and Takiri puts it down. 8-0 at ANZ.
Yeah, a couple of big runs there. One from Wendell Saylor. And also Gordon Tallis once again on the end of it.
This is where it was. Some of our viewers were in a break.
Well, I think Wendell's ready for... He's having a big game tonight. He's up against Adam McDougall, and they've come in contact a couple of times, but he wants to really have a big one, and then on the end of that is where Gordon Tallis made a beautiful break.
What did he have last Saturday? Wendell.
They're in trouble at the moment, the Knights. This is a really important 11.5 minutes coming up, because at the moment, the Broncos are getting that roll on that sees them score points quickly. If they're not careful, the game will get away with them in a short period of time, the Knights, unless they get that defence tighter and muscle up.
Simpson. Right on the halfway. Andrew Johns. Now an inside ball for Matt Parsons. It's put down on the 40. One try. Coming at around about the 26th minute. 8-0. Buderis down the short side, puts a little kick in. The weight on it is good. He'll have a problem, Darren. And he takes it over the touchline in goal. Line drop out, restart. Nicely weighted kick by this kid, Danny Buderis.
He's a talent, isn't he, Danny Buderis? Not easy to get a left footer away like that. And a good chase from Tamana Tahu, who's done a tremendous job in the last month. He's got 4 tries next to his name in as many matches. Pushed onto the bench. His first involvement has been an important one.
Let's go, Darren. No starts.
So what can Newcastle do here? An invitation for them. And Butterfield is put down. 30 away on one. Peden on the second play. 26 from the line. Fairley on 3. 20 away. Right in the middle of the ground. Now the Johns boys say we'll have it. Simpson is turned back inside, had the arms free, took a 3-man tackle on 4. Buderis answers the call from O'Davis. He gives it for Matthew. Then it's away for Shields and then for Peden. Now back for Matthew. Then for Andrew Johns. He puts a kick in. He was taken out. I'm watching Mander. He said play on. Aiken gets back into the field of play momentarily. That's enough.
Yeah, absolutely taken out. No doubt about that one. Tim Mander just waved it away as Michael Hancock beats 1 or 2.
This is the incident.
I mean, you ran in front of him and shouldered him out of the way. Where's the penalty?
On 3, come back, come back.
Saylor.
Come on, Billy.
Pridis, in fact, was the culprit that put that late charge on Andrew Johns.
Okay, 50 last. All the way back. No penalties here, Marcus Square.
Sivanasiva will play it now as they fire it back for the kick from Darren Lockyer. Adam McDougall, what's the story there?
Yeah, it's an interesting one, Ray. He's been off the field now for 7 or 8 minutes. To begin with, it was just a gear change, if you like. Bandages off. They took the bandaging off both ankles, the strapping off, but since they took it off, he hasn't been able to get really full movement. He's been trying to get the circulation going. He remains on the sideline. Tahu on the left wing.
Yeah, good run there from Robbie O'Davis, and more bad news, although this is good news for Newcastle. Danny Buderis has just limped off as well. And inside the final 10 now, and Newcastle will have a good attacking opportunity with Andrew Johns finding touch, 32 out.
Live and exclusive from ANZ Stadium. The 9 network coverage of rugby league in 2000. Parsons will play it. The second play for Butterfield. Mander calling them back. Peden, second man. Andrew Johns, and knocked down by Brisbane. Mark Hughes' pass has been picked up by David Fairley. And he's restarted the tackle count. That is 0. Here's 1. Parsons. That's 1. 8 away from the line. Matthews pass for Gidley. Inside for Albert. 7 metres away from the line. Newcastle scoreless at the moment. Andrew. Around the back from Mark Hughes. Oh! Robbie Davis was it. It went forward. It was a bat. It was a handball.
Yeah, he's tried to do a Mick Cronin. Mick was doing that 20 years ago. And Robbie comes in. Not a bad idea because Wendell Saylor had come in and left McDougall a free run to the line, but it did go forward.
Isn't this defence impressive from the Brisbane team? Going up both sides, the switches of play from Newcastle leading to nothing.
Devere. Now Lockyer, no markers at all. No markers at all for Newcastle. And again, you might say. Campion, 8 metres from the halfway. Carroll, now in opposition territory. 20 in from the western touchline. Hancock, confronted by a couple of the big forwards, Parsons and Shields. Newcastle in the forwards, very, very tired. The bounce is a good one for the Broncos. And Robbie cleans up in the nick of time. Hughes. That bounce was a mongrel of a thing. It was evil. And Davis had to really get urgent, didn't he?
Yeah, but he didn't panic, did he? He handled it well in the end. Bit of experience there as Matt Parsons takes a pass that the crowd thought was forward. And getting late in the tackle count.
Time in possession, can't split them. They've both had equal opportunity time-wise. Andrews kick going down to Lottie Takiri and Darren Lockyer. And Takiri it is that brings it away. Runs away from the fullback, heads over for Wendell's side of the ground. 31 metres out from his own line. Long ball, takes them back to the centre for Campion. Is it? No, it's Walker. Now Tallis. Just back from a little break. Berrigan. Carroll. Tony with the head down. Battering ram. Brad Thorne. And away from the Simpson tackle. Fed on for Walker. A grubbing kick. McDougall willing it over the dead ball, and he does well. He stayed cool. And the kick from Ben Walker just doing the right thing by Newcastle and McDougall. Half-time, 3.5 minutes away.
And from the looks of things out there, I'm sure that it's the Newcastle team that will welcome the break more than the opposition. I get the feeling that Brisbane would love to just continue playing because they feel as though they're getting on top in this game. There's a lost ball from the Knights. So a late chance just to put a bit more pressure on the visiting team.
Andrew.
I want to give Ben Ikin a rap just for the tough footy he's playing tonight. He's leading the kick chase team. His defence has been very solid tonight, and that carries on from last week where the Broncos statsmen had Ikin making 26 tackles and only 1 miss. We know Ben Ikin as being a great attacking player, but he's really toughening up in defence.
Oh, one against the feed.
Not often do we see it. O'Davis working with Gidley. Brisbane has to adjust. Shields. Dubious catch.
Gee, the support play from the Newcastle team is down tonight. Look at this one out stuff. Matt Parsons, who can offload, though he didn't look on that occasion. He wouldn't have had many options if he had turned.
Matty Johns turning it back for Clinton O'Brien. Through on the bounce for David Fairley. Fairley away for Robbie O'Davis, who's taken down by Tallis. Berrigan over the top. Andrew Johns has to go into dummy half, scooping it away. Shields puts in a little kick that finds touch. 3 metres out from the corner post.
I don't think Warren Ryan would be happy with that kick. I don't think the Johns brothers would be particularly impressed with it. Wasn't the last tackle, didn't lead to a try. And I think they will believe that they could have come up with a play better than that in the last tackle. That's just a tremendous rake from Danny Badiris. Put that one down for some good hooking.
And from that scrum, Danny Badiris was late in arriving for the dummy half job, and then Andrew Johns had to scurry in, and that probably caused all of the confusion with Big Peter Shields having to kick on not the last tackle. Saylor takes them in and then gets it for Berrigan. Berrigan for Ben Walker. Well, Ben Walker fell into that. It'd be pretty hard to be critical of Peter Shields. Berrigan. The little fast men from the Broncos aware that some of the big Newcastle forwards are starting to feel the pinch coming up to the break. Sivanasiva. Pritis is passed away for Lockyer. Lockyer in behind Robbie O'Davis. Ring of defence out there waiting for him.
Yeah, the crowd's booing. Lockyer copped one late, and he's still down. Once again, nothing done.
Play by Albert. Shields. Lockyer still down. Matthew. Adam McDougall. Johns works away at the narrow side, a very narrow corridor. Now he spins it for Andrew Johns, who kicks, and the Broncos are there equal to it, with Shane Walker snatching it in. Halftime siren sounding during the play. One try. Darren Lockyer still receiving some attention. Nothing was done. Here's what happened.
Well, you have to question whether he was committed to the tackle. I think it was Billy Pete. It looked like he was for mine. The other question is, how high was it? And from that angle, it's hard to tell. Might have got him on the shoulder, but he is down and he's very groggy.
Well, there he is walking from the park now. One try in the game. Scored by Gordon Tallis. Ben Walker successful with 2 kicks at goal. The Broncos lead Newcastle 8-0 after 40 minutes. And welcome back to ANZ Stadium now. The live and exclusive coverage of tonight's top of the table clash. The number 1 side, Brisbane, up against the number 5 team, Newcastle. Brisbane, of course, won the Super League Grand Final in '97 as Newcastle were winning the ARL Grand Final. And that Grand Final, one of 4, I should say, won by Brisbane. Newcastle coming back. I just got the feeling, looking at them coming up to the break, that they were starting to really feel the drain. Tallis in superb form, scored the only try. And repeating, it is 8-0 in favour of Brisbane over Newcastle. Let's have a look at some of the stats. Thank you to Mitsubishi.
Yeah, there isn't much in these stats. The main one is line breaks. The Brisbane have been quite successful in that area. And the missed tackles, that's quite an alarming count for the Newcastle side. 23 misses. I reckon Gordon Tallis responsible for about 18 of them. And the handling error is not in Newcastle's favour either. Top performers for both sides. It's been a pretty high standard game, this one. I thought Wendell Saylor, Gordon Tallis and Shane Walker have played really well. Shane Walker, I mean, he stepped into the breach for Kevin Walters and he's played terrific. Offloading, and his kicking game's been all right. And for the Newcastle side, Robbie O'Davis and Bill Peden's come up with some very good tackling, hasn't he? A couple of big hits out there, and he's always available to take the ball up. And Matty Parsons, Peter mentioned in the first half, he's plenty of hit-ups, but not much support for him.
Referee Tim Mander blowing time on. Second half. Brisbane right to left. And O'Davis looks for a forward runner, finds Butterfield. This is Parsons. Newcastle are content to work it away. Not for long, though, before they put it through the hands, and Mark Hughes is tackled. Now, Andrew Johns taking it down into Brisbane territory. So they've come away on the back of a few tackles, and they've gone 60 metres. Newcastle, that's 5. Andrew Johns on the short side. A kick that he gets to go back into the middle of the park. And out to the 20, marked on the full-in goal. So Brisbane have thrown a forward pass. Now Newcastle get a great opportunity. They've had time to recover at the break. And they will have this scrum. Watch the forward pass, which will mark the spot just inside the 30-metre line. In a game with limited opportunities, you've got to take full advantage of them. And Newcastle probably hasn't done that. Not as well as Brisbane anyway. Chance out wide, but it just goes out of the fingertips.
Yeah, great work from Tamana Tahu to get outside his man. The defence from the Brisbane centres tonight has been first class on this occasion. Man off the bench, got outside his. Wendell Sailor came in, and that could have so easily been try time.
Andrews back from the dressing sheds. Let's take his report with this scrum to be fed by Brisbane.
And Ray, I'm with the injured Broncos skipper Kevin Walters. Kevin, I know the game far from over, but there's a lot to like about the Broncos' performance tonight.
Well, there is, but also a lot to like about Newcastle as well. They haven't had too many opportunities tonight just yet, and are looking very dangerous early in the second half, so hope our blokes can hang on.
One of the features of the Brisbane game in the first half, the work of the men at the back, Lockyer, Takiri, Sailor, not a mistake between them.
No, not yet, but the Johns boys, I'm sure if there is going to be a mistake in them, they'll be there to capitalise. But at the moment, we've been handling it pretty well, and you've got to be on your guard against these guys because they're pretty good with the ball in their hands.
Now, Kevin, what about this calf injury? Steve Walters, your brother, said right at the top, no, it's no injury, it's just age.
Yeah, well, he forgets he was born 2 years before me. So, yeah, but, you know, I just did it at training on Friday morning, and one of those things, I suppose. Maybe age has got a little bit to do with it, but I'll be back before too long, hopefully.
Good luck with the recovery. I can just report, as I get my tooth back in, Ray, on the Newcastle side of things, Danny Badiris not back out there for the start of the second half. He's struggling with an ankle injury. He's undergoing a fitness test of sorts right here. He's not 100% fit, but they do expect him to be back.
Thank you, Andrew, and thank you, Kevin. I was just watching the faces of Wendell Sailor and Darren Lockyer. It looked as though Brisbane had knocked on over there. I've got a feeling it might have come off a Newcastle player or off the legs, because they both argued with the referee's call. It came off the legs of both the Brisbane players, and that's why they were arguing the toss with Tim Mander. Matthew Johns playing it inside his own 30-metre line. Shields. Butterfield.
He knocked the ball. He knocked the ball.
Andrew turning it back on the inside for David Fairley. Got himself an Australian jumper in the middle 90s. Gee, when is a tackle a tackle? You're really inviting injury. You're inviting that extra tackler to come in when you let tackles go that long. Lockyer off his own line.
It's another ordinary option taken by Newcastle there. Danny Badiris kicked the ball straight to Darren Lockyer. Really put no pressure on the Brisbane team at all, and now third tackle through Wendell Sailor, getting out of their own danger area pretty comfortably.
Nobody does it better. Coming off your own line, give it to Wendell. Prittis. Very good matchup, the dummy halves in this match. Webke. He beat the tackle of Butterfield, and then Andrew Johns, again with that strength and defence, picked him up and put him away. Walker's kick, marked by O'Davis. down the left side of Brisbane's defence, met by Takiri and De Vere. Darren Albert. Parsons. Good defence by Brisbane. They took the big man away, ball and all. Campion and Pritis. And now Shields did well. Away from Badeiras, on for Matthew Johns, and then it was Billy Peden back to Matthew Johns. A long ball picking up Robbie O'Davis, running the right of the ground. And he's taken down by Shane Walker on the 40-metre line. Down the short side, Peter Shields. Back, again Shields does well to get it away. Keeps it alive for Badeiras. Runs straight back to where Shields passed from to be tackled. 5 gone for Andrews' kick. And it's going down towards Wendell Saylor, who's dropped it backwards. Knocked backwards, said referee Tim Mander.
Yeah, but that's a better option for Newcastle. Kicking game there with Andrew Johns really putting one high up to Wendell. Oh, I've got a feeling that was a knock on.
There's no doubt about that. That certainly wasn't a knock back.
Sivanasiva. De Vere down on one knee to take the pass from Walker. Ben Walker's kick not causing any nervous breakdowns for Robbie O'Davis, and then he's able to carry the football 15 metres back to the defence line. Parsons. Badeiras and Butterfield to the Brisbane 40-metre line. Third tackle. Matthew Johns piling on some speed and taking a big tackle from Brad Thorne. Andrew runners around him. Goes to the extremity for Darren Albert. Got it in. Gidley gets it further in. Andrew puts it on for David Fairley. Fairley down for Matthew Johns. One-handed for Andrew. Across and back for Darren Albert. Albert beats one, tries to slide through another. 5 tackles gone. 12 away from the line. Andrew Johns. High, wide, and it'll be a try unless Saylor holds him up. Mander wants to look at it. It is Adam McDougall on the far side of the ground.
Yeah, he's celebrating. He knows it's a try. And I'll tell you what, one winger scored it, but somehow the other winger has enabled them to keep the football. Darren Albert got a miraculous pass away. He was headed to the grandstand, but he slipped it back in. And then a couple of tackles later from an Andrew Johns kick, Adam McDougall has planted the football down. And the Knights, well, that has got to lift them.
The green light is there. Mander had the option, by the way. This man was tackled in mid-air anyway. It was going to take a Herculean effort by Saylor to stop this try, Paul.
Yeah, it was, and you've got to say, I reckon this brings them back to about even Stevens now, because they both had very good games. Wendell's probably had just the touch better, but McDougall beat him to this one. Lovely kick from Andrew Johns once again. That's the second kick he's put up in a couple of minutes to Wendell Saylor's wing. On that occasion, McDougall reigned supreme.
Friday night of the upcoming week. We will go back to Melbourne, to Olympic Park. Yes. Yes, says Adam McDougall. Melbourne will play the Roosters next Friday. Will they carry last night's form into that game? Johns. 7 metres in from touch on the western side. Here it comes, and it's wide. Flags down. 8 points to 4. The Broncos over the Knights. 10 minutes gone, second half. Walker with the restart. 8-4. Heeden bringing it away. Now McDougall. Alive. We are back live at ANZ Stadium, the 9 network coverage of Saturday Night Rugby League, and Newcastle have done a fine job from the restart. This would be tackle 5. I would imagine David Fairley. No, it was 4. But they've taken it way down the ground to find themselves in Brisbane's territory on tackle 5 now. 4 points the margin. Brisbane leading Newcastle. A little test for Takiri. He came out of it with 10 out of 10.
He's been very good tonight, Lodi Takiri. Whatever Wendell's done on one wing, I think Lodi's matched him on the other.
Shane Walker. Crunched into the ground. Squashed him like a grape. In the side with Kevin Walters pulling out. Shane came into the run-on side. And that penalty is against the markers. Not lining up direct. Butts asking the question. It obviously was against David Fairley from the previous play the ball. 32 metres away now from the Newcastle line. Brad Thorne. Shane Walker. Carroll has lost it.
That was
the ball travelled forward, I think, but it was a knock on anyway.
Yeah, it's unbelievable to think that the Broncos now are throwing something like 3 forward passes, not under pressure, just blatant ones out in front of the man coming onto it.
Gidley, Matthew Johns.
The support play really starting to pick up for Newcastle now, despite this one outrun by Simpson. They are starting to get through with the man with the football. Here's a good run up the short side from Badiris. Tries to bounce out of one, but takes it over the halfway.
Hughes. Offloading from dummy half for O'Brien. Starting to make some inroads, Newcastle. Now Matthew combines with his brother and then with Robbie O'Davis. Butterfield. They work the short side for Matthew to kick it back onto the open. High, and a chance. More than a chance. Is he going to call it back? He puts it over the line. McDougall's gone in for what he thinks is number 2, and he's confident.
Eddie.
I'm just wondering whether a Brisbane player was interfered with in trying to catch the football.
Okay, they're in the...
And that's what the video referee will look at. Whether a Brisbane player was impeded from attacking the football. Nice variation in the kicking game again, this time to Matthew Johns, kicking back across the ruck. Chase was good. Let's have a look. Any Brisbane player knocked out of the way. Well, I do think that Billy Peden tried to tackle a man. That may be looked at closely by the video referee. The man didn't have control of the football. He didn't have possession.
Yeah, it's Benny Eichen. He goes up for the football. And it was well past him, you have to admit. But still, he was tackled mid-air or knocked out.
You'd have to say that Peden has played the man and not the ball. Yeah. And there it is.
You know what? This will be called back, I reckon.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it'll be... And what about this great work from Mark Hughes? Lovely flick pass, but I do think that Ben Eichen was impeded in his attempt to catch the football. And that's the penalty.
Yeah, there it is. Eddie Ward is the man on the video tonight. And I recall a similar incident at, I think it was Shark Park the other night, where a player was just slightly interfered with, but the ruling went against the team claiming the try. I don't think Bill Peden really had much of an effect on Ben Eichen, but that really is not relevant. what is relevant, that he broke the rules.
Yeah, Bill Peden was not trying to catch the football at all.
That's exactly right, Peter. He broke the rules. Now Peden penalised, and Brisbane back to the halfway line with Carroll. They come in a wave now, Campion. Just been a little bit lethargic since the break, the Broncos. Shane Walker for Darren Lockyer, for Ben Aiken. Here comes Wendell, running into Adam McDougall. McDougall takes the ball off him. There's a foot race on. McDougall by 2 metres. McDougall's got 10 to go. McDougall goes in. That's try number 2, and they won't take that off him.
No, they won't take that one off Adam McDougall. And won't he get some satisfaction out of that? Ripping the ball out of Wendell Sailor's arms, running 95 metres. He was denied only a minute ago. But there's no disputing this one. And just when again the Broncos were starting to look dangerous, a one-on-one tackle, and McDougall goes the length. Make it 90 metres.
Yeah, it's great stuff by McDougall, and he has slipped ahead in that race now. The Sailor-McDougall clash, it was brilliant stuff. Benny Aiken running the football, that's good to see. The inside ball, good defence too from the Knights. They forced him into this inside ball and had it covered all the way. And Wendell and McDougall got into a wrestling match. They were going nowhere, either of them, and McDougall think, hang on a minute, I can get this. And he reaped it out of his hands and got the head down. Is it like, I wish my horses would get their heads down like this. Hey?
Like a couple of big sumos.
Oh.
And then away went. His third visit down to that corner on the western side. He'd only just been denied a try. And away he goes.
Yeah, there wasn't much left in the tank, was there? But it was all that was needed. Both the tries tonight for the Knights. He's done a great job at fullback in the last couple of weeks. But back to what you think is his preferred position. Phil Gould has just pointed out that Wendell Sailor has beaten so many tackles in that fashion. Not tonight.
Andrew, offline again. Goal kicking, keeping the Broncos abreast of Newcastle. We take another break on the wide world of sports. Back in a moment. 16 gone, second half. Gee, there have been some great stoushes out there. They're right across the park. Lockyer and O'Davis. And that wing clash on the far side is a beauty. Thank you for coming back and joining us on Nines Rugby League, live on a Saturday night. At ANZ Stadium, we are deadlocked and the ball went backwards off the Newcastle player. That is Simpson. And they're outside the 40. They're over the halfway. And Aideen is Tahu. Sloppy work cleaned up again by Simpson. Big, gangly, but he really puts in. John Matthew. They got another chance. This time he puts it low, looking for another set. Mistake in goal, went backwards, and then Sailor goes for all the strength that he's got to get it back. He couldn't afford another mistake there.
Now, I thought kicking to Wendell Sailor was fraught with danger, but it might have just opened up a few cracks in his confidence, the Newcastle Knights.
The Broncos ramming it off their own line. Firstly with Takiri. Secondly with Priddle. Priddle, I should say. Priddle. There's a name from the past.
And it's Tony.
Webke back for the kick from Walker. Now, Robbie O.
All right, we pointed out that Newcastle have not won a game in Brisbane. 2 losses here at ANZ and the others at Lang Park. 16 times these teams have played. They've only won 3 times. If they've got a bogey team in the competition, they're up against them tonight.
And every team has one. Melbourne seemingly had one coming up to last night. They soon wiped the record clean there. 8 points all, 1 hour gone almost. Andrew looking more and more confident. Matthew across. Albert's going to get a jump on it. It came back and down. Newcastle's over, but they couldn't get it down. Or could they? Question mark.
The ball's held up. Okay, the ball. We'll just check that actually.
Well, the referee's decided to just make sure 100% that Matthew Gidley was held up, but it will still be a Newcastle possession. Oh no, it was the last tackle, so it may well be that the Broncos get the ball here. So this is quite a big call, but I think Matthew Gidley's the only person who believes he got the ball down.
Well, what we saw in actuality suggested that he didn't get it done. There's enough Broncos there to stop an armada.
Nah, 1,000,000 to 1.
What do you reckon?
No try there. Well, it's very hard to pick it, isn't it? Eddie Ward's got his work cut out with this one. He might go back to ref's call. You always got to be confident. That's why Matthew Gidley's got up, swinging his arms around and clapping himself. Well, it's impossible to tell.
So that will go back to a ref's call, and the referee has already indicated that he believes Gidley was held up. So this will be no try.
I've got a feeling there was a Bronco arm sufficiently under the ball when it disappeared from our view. So the bottom left-hand corner ref's call, and Tim Mander held up in goal. He preempted that. Cluster of Newcastle fans.
Matthew John's arguing that this is not the right decision, a 20-metre tap.
Well, maybe Mander is saying that he lost the ball over the line. Now he's getting some instructions. He's getting some instructions, no doubt, from either the touch judge or the video referee, and it's a changeover.
Yeah, changeover, fifth and last tackle. Change over there, 10 metres out. No, fifth and last held up, change over.
Well, you heard it from Tim Mander. When Matthew Johns alerted him to a problem with the rule, I think Matthew thought it would be a scrum with the loose head and feed to Newcastle.
Well, it was still a better result for Newcastle. They got 10 metres extra, and they also forced the Broncos to come out from their own corner, which is always more difficult. Oh, there's a mistake, and McDougall struggling on the sideline.
Yeah, what's the problem with him, Andrew?
Well, he's just about stretched himself out, I've got to be honest, Ray. Since he scored that try 6 minutes ago, he's come to the bench again. He's got a problem with his ankle. He's stretched his legs a few times. He wasn't actually out on the field for the start of the second half, so he's definitely inconvenienced, and that definitely adds merit to his performance in running 80 metres to score.
Newcastle then getting a chance in a good attacking position. Tackle one, and a problem for Matthew Gidley. Albert. Parsons taking them on, then driven down. Tallis, Hancock, Webke. They come back down the blindside corridor. Shields. Now Badiris off to the more or less the centre before Fairley came back again down the short side. Badiris now away for Andrew Johns and then for Matthew. Dummied inside, gave it outside.
Oh, he's lost it, and he's hurt here, Darren Albert. They've stopped play immediately.
Gee.
Well, hang on, is it Darren Albert? It doesn't. It might be Mark Hughes, is it?
I think it's Adam
It's
McDougall.
Adam McDougall. Oh.
Gee. Really fell awkwardly, and it looks like the neck injury.
Well, I hadn't even realised that he was back on, and his first touch since going back into the fray. Seen a very nasty collision and an awkward fall.
And all the players in close proximity just stop playing. There's Gidley heading back to the sheds. I don't think we're going to see him again tonight. And Adam McDougall, who has had an incredible night, but his fortunes have fluctuated here into a distressing sight at the moment. I'm just hoping he's got some feeling and some movement in those limbs, and that's what they're testing for at the moment. We will take a break. We will come back and we will address the problem with Adam in just a moment. It is 8-all at ANZ. Well, he did lift his head from the ground and he nodded, and you can see some movement in his right arm and there's movement in the legs. All of this is very, very good. Yeah. I think Adam's going to be okay. There seems to be movement in all the limbs and the neck.
Well, he's possibly more stunned than anything, and the Newcastle doctor out there, and the doctor wouldn't be letting him move around if there was a problem.
We are back live at ANZ, and it's been a very scary moment, but Adam McDougall, I can tell you, has movement in his legs, his arms and his neck. And I'm hoping that it might have been more of a concussion than anything else. And a very, very frightening moment for him, as it is for the viewer. But the good news is that he has had movement. And he's been handled by the ambulance officers. He's been handled by the Newcastle doctor. Andrew on the sideline.
Well, Ray, we almost had a little bit of drama there in that set of six, apart from the injury to Adam McDougall, and it is a week where the Cowboys have copped the penalty for having 14 men on the field. But when Matthew Gidley suffered that injury to his left knee, he was replaced by Tamana Tahu, who had been replaced by Adam McDougall just moments ago. Tahu had left the ground on the far side of the field, and to replace Gidley came on from that same point, which technically is a breach of the rules, and the on-ground match official wasn't all that pleased about it. So you may have heard more about it had the Newcastle Knights come up with a try in that set of six.
And all of that, of course, overshadowed by this injury to Adam McDougall, and he's being taken away on the ambulance. And I hope I'm right. In fact, I'm almost positive I'm right that he's going to be okay. So,
but you've got to think, Ray, that these injury problems are starting to tip the scales back towards the Broncos. I don't think Gidley will be back. Wouldn't imagine McDougall will be back. Badiris is a little bit busted.
This second half, the Broncos seem to have lost their way, don't they? Their kicking game has been non-existent. They haven't controlled the football at all. They've been doing all the defence.
Lockout. Way down to the 20-metre line, but there's no expended energy by Robbo Davis. It went straight to him. Darren Albert, just inside his own 40-metre line. 8 points all, and 62.5 minutes gone. The match coming to you live on the Nine Network, live and exclusive. One of the season's big games. It hasn't let us down. There's been some high-quality stuff here. As Newcastle press on inside the Brisbane 40-metre line. That is Fletcher. Andrew kicking across. Albert's after it and gets a hand to it. But Takiri is away outside his own line. What an effort. That is great stuff by Lottie Takeri. Inspiring stuff from the Brisbane winger.
Yeah, one of the most hard-fought 18 metres you'll ever see gained. He just kept going and going and going. He's beaten a couple of them 3 times each. Probably inspired by what Wendell Sailor's done tonight and previous weeks. A great run. Inspirational stuff.
Well, Ben Ikin just looking to put a kick through there. He was hit as he kicked. That's an indication of what Paul was saying. They just have lost their way a little bit. There really wasn't anything happening there. The kick wasn't going to put a lot of pressure on the Knights. Time starting to run out, becoming a factor. You start to think field goal.
We will endeavour to get something official on Adam McDougall as soon as we can, and certainly before the end of the telecast. Gidley has come back from the sheds as Parsons is tackled, and Gidley getting some movement into that injury.
Yeah, great sign there for the Knights. And what about Matt Parsons tonight? He's just had a blinder in my book. He's taken the ball forward. In the first half, he wasn't getting any support. He's just kept it going in the second half, having a great game.
27,000 people here at ANZ Stadium tonight as Matthew Johns away from Mark Hughes. Mark Hughes, he's going to do it. He's done it. He's over the line for another try.
Wonderful stuff there from the Newcastle back line. The Johns brothers, they try and throw long passes to put the man receiving it on the outside of the defender. And that's exactly what Matthew Johns was able to do here. He gets the ball now, and as we freeze it, you can see nearly obscured on the other side is the Brisbane defender. Hughes is able to get outside him from the pass. The quality of the pass as play continues. He came too far in field, Tony Carroll. He couldn't regroup. And Mark Hughes, great pace, carries Lockyer over the line.
Yeah, Paul Reading in defence there from the Brisbane Broncos. Mistake made, and they paid the penalty. The passing games of the Johns boys are the best I think anyone's ever seen. They can do anything they want with the football, put it anywhere they want. And Mark Hughes, the recipient there of a beautiful pass, straight into some fresh air, and away he went. Both of the centres tonight have had great games. Hughes and Gidley, they fancy their chances against the likes of Ikin, De Vere and Tony Carroll. They've taken them on, and they've beaten them a couple of times.
Mark Hughes, that baby face, the baby face centre. He's done it this time, put them in front, first time in the game.
Now, as Andrew Johns learnt from his first 2 kicks, they were both out in this area. This is such an important kick to put his team a converted try in front.
It is 12-8. Andrew 5 in from touch. On its way, on its way. It is delightful for red and blue. 6 points the margin. The Knights are in front of the Broncos. And look at this, Andrew, for a pass.
Yeah, what a try it was to the Newcastle Knights. And as we watch Mark Hughes go over again, I should update you on the casualty ward that it is for the Newcastle Knights right at the moment. Adam McDougall in the dressing room. He does have full movement, no pins or needles. He has concussion, though. He won't be back. It's a groin problem for Matthew Gidley. If he does return, he won't be 100%. Now Matt Parsons, who Sterlo just gave a rap to, he has a problem with his ribs. It may be a rib cartilage injury, but he will be back, but again, not 100%.
Well, thank you, Doctor. Thursday night, 8:30, ER with Andrew Voss.
Spent some time there this week, you know.
I know you have.
Had the face mask on the whole bit. I went for the gas.
Came out better than you did, too. I saw the picture of the baby today.
Amen to that.
Thank God for Anne.
Tommy's a little champion too.
Shields. Now, Andrew, I should say. I was about to make... That's out on the full. The confidence level has gone over the top. I was about to say, this kid gets the raps, Andrew, but this other boy, Matthew, by Jove, he's capable.
Yeah, well, Andrew has just put plenty of pressure on his team now.
Next Saturday night, live action on the 9 network from Parramatta Stadium. The Eels and the Eagles. Next Saturday, 6:30. Fortin v Sterling. Aiken! 30 metres away. Player lying in the play the ball. Didn't bring a penalty. Sivanasiva got it away. Walker on. And then back from De Vere. From Ben Walker to Sivanasiva. 17 out from the Newcastle line. The Knights lead by 6, but the Broncos are not going away. Inside ball, Lockyer puts it down.
Tackle coming across on Darren Lockyer.
From Simpson, was it? Or Peters?
Nah, Simpson.
Hughes. There's the hit. Inside ball, and it was Simpson on Lockyer. Just for a moment, I thought he might have been tackled without the ball, but that replay said no. Peter Shields, knocked down by Tallis. A handball effect. Back to Hancock. Inside the 30-metre line. Newcastle again under pressure. Shane Walker, Ben Aiken, Shane Walker, Tony Carroll. 19 out from the Newcastle line. Then Ben Aiken. Now Ben Walker. And he spins in the Shields tackle. And Andrew Johns cleans him up. That's where they are. 20 metres out in front of the uprights. Ben Aiken. Back, a one-hander from Priddis. And the Broncos will be playing the ball 10 metres out. Priddis goes for a run. Put the head down. Dane Carlaw is out there in 14 for the Broncos.
Numbers
tackle. It's from Ben Walker. Tahoe! Brings it down.
Well, I'll tell you what, if the kick had been a couple of metres higher over Tahu's head, Wendell Saylor was on the fly. They've lost it. Peden lost it.
Let's have a look. This was the kick. Wendell was praying for a higher kick, and then we watch this. And he has lost it, Billy Peden. The touch judge has said to Tim Mander, it's a scrum. Can't argue with it. 10 out. Western side, 20 metres in, Brisbane's advantage.
It's a good blind side for Wendell Saylor to attack. Plenty of room there. Maybe Tallis breaks from the scrum base.
Open side play. Aiken for Lockyer. Lockyer sprinting. Lockyer pulled down a metre from the line. Who made that tackle? It was a beauty.
It was
Robbie
O'Davis, it was.
Takiri.
Matthew Gidley's gone.
Now it's back with Ben Aiken. Newcastle defending like they've never defended before. It's a cross for Walker. Then to his brother Shane. Now for Tallis. Tries to get outside them, but the defence scrambles. Big Sailor for Shane Walker, for Ben Aiken on the 10-metre line. Down he goes again on 5. And then a rolling ball. Tim Mander will give a try.
Well,
who got it? It was De Vere.
De Vere scores. Danny Medeiros made the mistake. He lost control of the football. But that's a penalty for the last 3 times they've had possession, coming off their line, and they've made mistakes early in the count. The kick wasn't a good one. It was cleaned up comfortably by Danny Medeiros, but can you believe he lost it?
Michael De Vere, the try scorer for the record.
Yeah, some good play from the Broncos. Benny Aiken's been heavily involved the last 3 sets of 6. Moved into the 5/8 role. He's played well. But there you go. Medeiros had it, lost it. 4-pointer for the Broncos. We're in for a big finish here.
What a beauty for Brisbane. What a way to finish a great part of the game. You had to sing the praises of the Newcastle defence.
Well, they were really struggling on this side. Sorry, Paul, because Matthew Gidley, he couldn't run. So they had to get a replacement out. Troy Fletcher went on. He was actually on the wing.
Boys, that tackle that Robbie O'Davis made on Lockyer was one of the best you'll ever see.
And he had to make that tackle, Paul, because Matt Gidley he was out of the play. He stopped and the gap opened up.
This is for a locked-up situation again. 14-12, they're down, the Broncos. Ben Walker's kick looks good. The flags are up. Brisbane are level again. 6 to go. Andrew, have a look at it.
Sit back and watch this tackle again of Robbie O'Davis. Two champion fullbacks, Lockyer in full flight, and O'Davis just had no right to stop him short of the line. Then the try comes. I tell you what, at halftime Warren Ryan said one of his instructions to the Knights were don't let the Broncos start a set of 6 inside our own half. Well, for 28 minutes it didn't happen, but then 3 times in 3 minutes, and eventually the Newcastle Knights cracked.
Sailor plays it, 12 away from his own line. That is Carlo. I tell you something, with the home and away system, the only fair system, we will see them again. And then I am sure we will see them again and again. But if you've got a grand final ticket and you follow Newcastle or Brisbane, after tonight you can be confident that you're going to be watching one of your own teams. By Jove, this has been high quality. Ben Walker kicking into the deep. Robbie O'Davis. The little fella covering for himself and Matthew Gidley and pulling off a tremendous tackle. I didn't know who it was. There was this little blur underneath.
Well, now we come down to a situation as to who's going to make the mistake or make the bust. And there it is. There it is. Simpson knocked on. Lockyer or Ben Walker will have an opportunity for a one-pointer if they don't score 4 to 6.
The scrum packing as Matt Parsons makes a return. Tallis out of the back of the scrum. Lockyer's broken them. Lockyer's away. Lockyer will score. Puts the seal on the game. Tallis broke from the scrum. Stello preempted it earlier. Watch for Tallis break from the back of the scrum. He did that. He made an extra number on the right side. Newcastle couldn't counter. And this very, very special talent was away.
Yeah, Robbie O'Davis just couldn't pick him up from the inside. A nice blindside set play. And we've seen exactly the same thing that happened last week against the Sharks. 2 late tries is going to earn a victory and keep them unbeaten, the Brisbane Broncos.
Yeah, it was great stuff, brilliant stuff. Tony Carroll's got the arms up. But it was man-on-man defence, and Lockyer's probably a little bit fresher than O'Davis, and he just got on the outside of him. They gave him just too much space to run to, and Darren Lockyer can't give him anything. A nice little change of pace, ball in front of his body, just held them up for a fraction, got through, and he glides over. Lovely running style.
Well, you've seen Lockyer tonight, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. That's him planting it down. You've also seen Robbie O'Davis, custodian for Newcastle. It's almost unbelievable that one of them will probably be sitting out or on the bench for a Queensland Origin side. I know what I'd be doing if I had this bloke at my disposal. I think he'd be having a number 6 on his back with the other bloke in the 1 shirt, only because I think Lockyer is probably the more versatile. In fact, not probably, he is. Walker with the conversion. Flags go up again. The crowd goes up again. Just over 27,000 of them. Another look at it, Andrew. Newcastle, close your eyes.
Darren Lockyer, the quintessential match winner. What a priceless commodity to have a player who can turn a game in just the blink of an eye. He's done it a few times, in fact, many times in his short career, really. And again, he's done it tonight for the Broncos.
This is Carlaw, just outside the 40-metre line. Okay, next Friday, The Roosters go to Melbourne. Can Melbourne keep the juggernaut going? And then we come back to Parramatta, to the stadium. The Parramatta Eels versus Northern Eagles. That's the menu for Friday and Saturday on 9. Next weekend, Campion, raked back by Newcastle, dived on by Shields.
2 minutes, what have the Knights got left? Anything? We're about to find out.
20 points to 14. Problems for Peter Shields. He's worked hard, Paul, the big fella.
He's played pretty well. It's a game the Knights, they were never going to win. Then they had it in the bag, but too many mistakes let the Broncos back into the match. And just simple errors, dropping the ball, and you can't allow yourself to do that.
Poor old Danny Buderis, when I think back, and there's not a nicer kid in the game, and there's not too many more talented. He will wrestle with his conscience. That ball that he lost that let Brisbane back. Butterfield to ground. Shields did well. Big Parsons runs, passes, and then Andrew away. This is Tahu. Hasn't been asked to do a lot, but I'll tell you what, when he's got the ball or he's around the ball, he looks classy. Here he is again. An offload that might do something. Buderis, Peden then a long ball, Matthew Johns. It finds Fletcher. He kicks on the inside, and it was a dumb kick. It did nothing. Inside the last minute. Gee, we can take some memories of this game away, though. The Sailor-McDougall clash.
I think it's been the best game we've seen all season, no doubt about it. It's just been fantastic. So many heroes out there for both sides tonight. Robbie O'Davis, the Johns boys, McDougall, they all play well. Matty Parsons for the Knights, and for Brisbane, well, just about all of them. Lockyer, Takiri had a big game. Benny Eichen played his part in the second half. The Walker boys, Wendell. The list goes on. Gordon Tallis kept his form going. And it's been a tremendous game here.
The crowd counting it out. Siren. Newcastle and Tahu, or was it no, Fletcher. He passed to the right, hoping somebody would be there, but the touch judge said, I couldn't possibly run that far. Good game. Mistakes, of course, but there has to be. When the body contact has been like it has tonight, and as one would probe and the other would counter, obviously you're going to have some mistakes. But the positives far outweigh the negatives, and they will be there at the end of August, both of them. High up. 20 points to 14. Gee, I hope you enjoyed this one. Peter and Phil have gone down to the sideline. They'll wrap it up for you. And Andrew, with our brand new sponsor, Ford Australia, the $1,000 man of the match, he'll make that presentation in just a moment. We will break, then we will come back live to ANZ Stadium. The fans are very happy. Just over 27,000 of them. Back in a moment on the one and only Wide World of Sports.
Peter, high-quality football, and the $1,000 from Ford tonight goes to Lottie Takiri, the Broncos winger. Well, you've shown 2 weeks in a row you can come from behind against the real elite company.
Oh, yeah, mate, the boys. There's a lot of heart in this team, and coach pushes out all the time, mate. And that's what we've been working on, team spirit. It's great.
You would have been expecting tonight to be put under pressure by the Johns boys, Andrew and Matthew, and they did that with a high ball a number of times. Yeah,
they did, mate. Oh, we trained for it all week. Been training, me and Wendell, mate. Wendell, mate, he put a couple down tonight, but he's still confident, mate. But so it's great, yeah. You can't win a competition in the first 5 rounds of a year, but what have you taken out of this first month? 4 matches away from home, your first game at home tonight. I mean, the signs are very, very good. Yeah, mate. Coach, we've been working on month-to-month basis for the team, and mate, next month got a couple more home games and should be great playing in front of a crowd like this, 30,000 or something like that. It's been great.
All right, Lottie, well done tonight. $1,000 from Ford as man of the match.
Thanks, mate. I'd like to thank God as well, and Ford as well, Channel 9. Thanks, mate. Cheers, mate.